Hello Year 11 and welcome to this video on how can I revise English language paper 1 and for this video we are focusing on the language question. This video is going to be a little bit more interactive, so this is about how you can revise and I'm going to be showing you some strategies for that. Okay, so first it's really important to know what to expect tomorrow. I'm sure your teacher has been through this with you, but just in case you have any nagging doubts, you're going to be faced with one non-fiction text tomorrow which you'll be expected to read, and the first 4 questions of your paper is going to be about that text. So the first question, nice and easy, is pick out 4 things about it. Question 2, which we're focusing on in this video, is the language question. Question 3 will be structure. Question 4 is the essay question. So you'll be faced with someone's opinion and you'll be asked, to what extent do you agree? And question 5 is, of course, the written task. So to start with, you need to know language devices. So if I were you, I would just pause this video and write down all the language devices you could possibly think of. There's a list on this slide. Again, pause the video and go through and make sure you know what each one of these devices is. And if you get stuck, then do that last minute piece of revision and find out, okay, because it might just save you tomorrow. Okay, like I said, this is going to be more interactive. So this is an example of what you might be faced with in the exam tomorrow with the language question. So I'm going to encourage you now to pause the video and to read through this text and to pick out any language features that you might find. Off you go. Okay, so let's have a look at the things that I found. So the story begins in a city of bones. I've highlighted in a city of bones. Hopefully, obviously, this is a metaphor. It creates tone. It suggests themes that we might find throughout this text. And obviously, it has links to death. It might make us think that it's quite gothic. I've also highlighted a place inhabited by tombs and stone angels and the loitering ghost. And there's quite a lot going on in this phrase. We've got the rule of 3, which emphasises the theme of death that's being created. And there's also a semantic field. We've got ghosts, angels, tombs, which again link to the theme of death, that someone's passing. Perhaps there's a religious element to this text too. We've also got at the bottom there, pantomime of a burial. So again, we've got this metaphor. Of course, a burial isn't a pantomime, but it suggests that it's maybe not being taken seriously. Perhaps it suggests that there could be some contrasts in this text. And we've got the unseasonable March rain, which of course is pathetic fallacy too. And that rain could suggest sadness, it could suggest grief. Okay, all these things that would go into what makes this text have a certain tone. So we're going to do the same thing. Pause the video, and instead of picking out the techniques, I want you to decide what the techniques are that I've highlighted. Okay, off you go. Okay, so in this text we have, it's about Beyonce, which is fab. We've got free of the pullover like a solar flare, so of course we've got the simile there. Up close, her skin is the honeyed brown of apple butter. So we have a metaphor describing just how lovely she looks to this person. As quiet and lethal as a sniper. So again, we've got a simile, and that kind of changes the tone slightly. It suggests that perhaps there's danger in the air. She's so focused and fierce. So we've got the alliteration, which also highlights that word fierce that we know that Beyonce uses to describe herself. Top human beings on the planet. And of course we've got some hyperbole here, depending on your opinion. But we've got hyperbole to show how the narrator feels about Beyonce. Okay, so once you've highlighted and annotated your text, you're then going to need to be using your PEE paragraphs to answer this question. And I think you need to do your PEE plus, so you need to have your point, your evidence, your explanation, and then something else that might be zooming in on a certain word, it might be looking at different connotations, it might be interpreting something in a slightly different way, okay? But this is is an example of the PEE. So the writer uses similes through the extract to portray Beyonce. Point. For example, as quiet and as lethal as a sniper. And then your explanation for this is, this could show how professional Beyonce is on stage. Your extra, the word sniper has connotations of danger and death, and so perhaps the writer is suggesting that Beyonce is so powerful she could change your life forever. Dead simple. Keep it simple. Aim for about 3 PE paragraphs. You can't go wrong.